Hello and welcome to CS230. This is lecture 6 and this is lesson 5. And we're going to look at this lesson, we're just going to look at JavaScript cookies. I didn't get to do it in class the other day, so I'm going to do it now. Haven't written any extra code for this one because pretty much all the code that you need initially is in W3 Schools. I'm just going to show you about using the W3 Schools examples. The code that they provide is excellent and it's eminently reusable, and I'm happy for you to use this code as part of your any assignment. I think your next assignment will be to build a game and you'll have to maintain some high score table. That kind of thing will be done with cookies, and I'm okay with you just using and taking the code. You still have to write some kind of cookie manager, of course, and that's something you'll have to learn to do yourself. But anyway, so we're going to look at cookies. These are small persistent data that are stored in the browser, and I'm going to show you how to create and manipulate them using JavaScript. So as I said, the functions in W3 Schools are brilliant. I normally recommend that students use these ones. So we're going to look at the lesson that's here and work through it. We'll just copy the code and create something ourselves just to make sure it works. So what's cookie then? So cookies, as I said, are small pieces of information that are saved. They're used for all sorts of good and sometimes nefarious practices on the web, but basically it's about personalization, and we need to know how to do it. So it uses the document.cookie property in order to handle this on the client side. I'll come back to it again when we look at server-side cookie management as well. Because what's the point in having a cookie saved in your browser if you can't send it back to the server? And the server needs to be able to do something with that to personalize things for you. So with JavaScript anyway, a cookie can be created like this, okay? And this one includes an expiry date. It also includes a path and so forth. So the path, it tells the browser what path the cookie belongs to, and by default the cookie belongs to the current page. But you can set it up for very specific pages or all pages beneath the current one, etc., etc. Cookies are always saved in name value pair. So here we have a cookie called username. It's assigned the value of John Doe. We don't need to put quotes around it. We just have a single quote to set the cookie up. And we separate the information from the cookie data, from the date, from the expiry date, the path from this, just by semicolons. So in order to make a cookie, you can read them by just saying create a variable called x and assign it the value of the cookie. Then you get some string like this, and we're going to have to parse it. So a lot of work will have to be done in splitting it at semicolons and working through it, and that's what the W3 Schools function do for you. Okay. To change a cookie, you just overwrite it. Okay, so you replace the cookie with the existing cookie. Okay, so we could change this one and remove the John Doe by just setting it like this. Okay, and if you want to completely deleted, then you just set a date in the past. We used the 1971. If you set a new cookie, the older cookies are not overwritten, and the new cookie is just added to the document.cookie. So you just basically get this value and this value. Okay. So here's the code from W3 Schools. So this allows you to set a cookie name, a cookie value, and the days after which it will expire. So what we do first is we handle this expiry. So we create a new date called D, and we set a time that we're going to, D is a new date, and we get a created date. Very straightforward. This is a standard way to do this, and we're multiplying the number of milliseconds by the number of days, by the number of seconds, by the number of minutes, and so forth, and hours, in order to be able to get the time in milliseconds from now. And that gives us a sense of creating an expires part for this particular, for the cookie. And then we set the cookie to be the cookie name plus the value. We're setting it up as a name value pair, hence the equal to, including our semicolon, including our expires, and including our path to set for the current page. That's it. If we want to get a cookie, then we get a cookie and we get the value for a particular cookie. That's what we're interested in. So we name the cookie and we get the value. So we create this name value pair construct here, and what we do then is we split the cookie at the semicolons, as I mentioned earlier, and we saw split before. Okay, and we iterate over this string, and we're able to extract the name of the cookie, and then that's it. Easy. This is straightforward string processing. To check a cookie, we want to actually take a user, for example, look at get cookie for username. We can check to see if a cookie exists for this user, and then if it doesn't, we ask the name. If it does, and we set the cookie. If it exists, and we get the cookie value for username, we just say hello again. And this is a simple way that we would use cookies and check cookies. This is how you might maintain high scores, for example. So let's go and look at the W3 Schools examples because they're pretty good. So, okay, so here's cookie. So these they've set up these buttons for you. You can go and look and practice. We display all cookies, and we see there are no cookies displayed. Okay, let's create a cookie 1, display the cookies. First name is John. Okay, create cookie 2. Display all cookies, John, first name, last name, Smith. So these are the 2 cookies that's created. We can delete the cookie 1. Let's go to this. Delete cookie 1 and display the cookies, Smith. So we just have this one. Okay. Delete cookie 2. Display all cookies, no cookies. So it allows us to manage all this on the front client side. If you go to W3 Schools example, it starts by checking the cookie, runs Keating. Okay, so I created a cookie here for this page. I'm going to run it again, and it goes welcome again, John Keating, because it has the cookie set. Okay, so we can take all of this code ourselves, and we can create our own example. We can save it. We call it demo 6. Oops. Okay. And we can go to our example here. Open this file. Demo 6. And we get the same thing as we would have expected before. Let's reload the page again. Oh, why is that? We reload it again, and we get a scan. So why would that be the case? Well, the reason that's the case is because I think I've turned off cookie saving on this particular machine, this particular browser. I didn't have it turned off in Chrome, but I have it turned off in this one here. Okay, but so it just goes to show that cookies don't always work, and it relies on you having cookies set. And you'll often see this some places. So, okay, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's very easy to use this code. You can make changes to this, try it out yourself, and it's fine. Okay. We can go back to the cookie management page. That's it. There's not much more to it apart from that. Okay. Thank you for watching.